Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Los Artilleros. I'm Eldanman86 and it's finally official. Hirving Lozano has gone to Italian Serie A club Napoli on I think a £38 million, which is about 45 or so million US dollars. And this is my video that's going to have my opinion on that basically. Heading straight into it, I think it's a good move for him. Is it the best move he could have made? No, obviously. But it's a good move. And Napoli are a good club. And they're in a good league. And they're in a league that's got a lot of exposure internationally. I think more exposure than the Eredivisie in the Netherlands with PSV. I think a lot more eyes are going to be on him now. He's still in the Champions League as well at the moment. I think they're qualified. Or they're qualifying. Either way, he's still looking to be in the Champions League this year, which is a good sign for him and for Mexico. So yeah, I think it's a good move. I'm not overly ecstatically excited about it, if I'm being brutally honest. I kind of wanted to go to England. I would have loved to have him at Arsenal. I think we need him. Obviously, we've got Pepe. I bring Pepe and Arsenal into it actually because I think Pepe is actually on the verge of signing for Napoli, and then Arsenal came in and basically snatched him and got him on a record deal. So I think Lozano is obviously their plan B, a pretty good plan B to be honest. I would have loved to have a Lozano at Arsenal to be honest with you. I think a front three of Aubameyang in the middle with Lozano on the left and Pepe on the right would be very exciting. But yeah, I think that it's a good move for him. It's not too much of a jump up in terms of quality. I think the Italian league, while it has a lot more exposure, it is better than the Eredivisie. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a massively margined increase in ability, in my opinion. The defensive side of it will be a bit stronger, so he would have to probably work more in scoring and assisting, which hopefully he will take as a challenge and will help him improve as a player. Although he's a brilliant player at the moment, there's always room for improvement, and he's still young. He's young enough to improve. So hopefully coming up against the Italian defence will help him. Although saying that, Raul Jimenez's Wolves actually destroyed Torino in a Europa League qualifying midweek, so the Italian defence isn't what it used to be as a whole. So there are teams that Napoli will face and he will face that he could do quite a lot of damage to, Torino being one of them. But I think all in all, I think it's a good step for him. Can't see him being there more than 2 years. Similar amount of time frame that he was at PSV for. Especially if he does well, if he's in and amongst the top scorers, if he's getting 20 to 30 goals a season for them, even if Juve blow them away and win the league as they do year in year out, it will still get him the exposure that he needs. And I can see him moving to an English club or a high-ranking La Liga team in the future. But as of right now, I think it's a good move. I think he will learn a lot. I think from Ancelotti, he will learn a lot from being in Italy. It's a new environment for him. Mexican players don't tend to do very well in Italy, so it'll be interesting to see how well he does, if he can set the benchmark for Mexican players in Italy especially. And obviously it'd be great to see him in the Champions League with a club that, no disrespect to PSV, but I think Napoli could go further in the Champions League than PSV in a season by season basis. And obviously they've been top two. They're in the top four. They were always in the top four, but they've been top two I think the last 2 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. So he will be in and around the spot, and I think, funnily enough, I think actually the Juve game, they play Juve I think next weekend. I think that's probably going to be his first game for Napoli, and that will be very exciting. I think it's a very shrewd move for Napoli. There's a massive Mexican fan base, not only in Mexico but in the US as well. And that will now be focusing quite intensely, I think, on the Serie A now. I wouldn't be surprised if their viewerships go up, their ratings go up, purely because people are just going to want to watch Lozano. I'm not being overly arrogant by saying that. I think there's a lot of people out there that will be watching Lozano. A lots of pundits and media people that are just going to be genuinely interested to see what he can do. I think he did all he could at PSV. I don't think he could have done much more. Could he have gone a bit further in the Champions League last year? Sure. But it's PSV. PSV are only going to go so far. No disrespect to them. But, it's just one of those clubs that are just going to go in the group stages and not much further than that. So, yeah, I think it's a good move. As I said, I would like to have seen him go to Arsenal, but I would have liked to see him going to a Wolves or a lower Premier League club, or a lower Premier League club. I didn't really want to see him go to Spain if it wasn't a Real Madrid or Barcelona. I think Italy at the moment is on par. I think Napoli is on par with most of the La Liga teams, to be honest. But I think he could have gone to like an Everton or a Wolves and done really well there, especially Wolves. I would have liked to see him and Raul Jimenez at Wolves. I think Lozano right now could do a lot of damage in the Premier League. I know that for sure. If he was with the right team, with the right teammates around him. But if he gets a couple of years in Napoli, gets a couple of years in playing a bit tougher defences week in, week out, being forced to kind of improve and work on his technique, then I think his next move is going to be 70, 80 million plus, I think. And that's not me being biased, that's me legit, just true, rational. So yeah, I quite like the move. I'm not overly massively excited, as I said. He could have gone to a bit of a better club, in my opinion. But Napoli is no slouch, they're no pushovers. They're going to be a top team. They are one of the top teams in Italy now. They tend to do alright in the Champions League. I think he needs as much experience in the Champions League as possible. For his next move, and don't mistake my words. I do see this as a bit of a stepping stone. I don't see him being there for that long. I think he's going to have a couple of really good seasons for Napoli. I think they're probably going to be around the top two again for the next couple of years. Probably get to the quarterfinals or to the last 16 of the Champions League for the next couple of years. But that's pretty much it. The best you can hope for is being in and around the top scorers, and I think he could do that, to be honest with you. If he clicks well with his new teammates, then I can see him doing really well. And for me, it's all about building his profile and building his talent, his technique, and improving him as a player for that next big step. I didn't want him to go to United because obviously I don't want them the Premier League rivals. Spurs as well was mentioned. Hell no to that. I'm not going to go into that. Liverpool apparently as well. Real Madrid and Barcelona as well. They're all interested in him. I know that for a fact. But I'm glad that he didn't go to any of them, because the thing with Napoli is he's got a very high chance of very quickly establishing a first team position in that club, whereas the bigger teams not so much. He could have probably have walked into the United left wing position. I think Alexis is on his way out. Martial, I don't think really gets on in that position. So he could have walked into that one. He probably could have done well at United, if I'm being brutally honest. But with Napoli, as I said, they've got all the right ingredients for him to improve as a player and just build upon what he's already achieved, which is quite a lot, to be fair. So yeah, pretty good in the move. I just want to say I'm not quite sure how much Club Pachuca got for this deal. I know they got I know that they've got a hefty buy-on clause or sell-on clause. when they sold him to PSV. So they probably got, I don't know, I would imagine they probably got about 10 million US dollars from this deal. Could be wrong, but I think they got quite a good deal from that, and I think it's just another way of Lozano helping the Mexican game right now. Um, there's only a couple of players that really get foreigners talking about Mexican players and Mexican football. It's Lozano for me, Raul Jimenez at the moment because of Wolves and just how well he's doing there, and also Hector Herrera for going to Atletico Madrid. There's also, of course, for Lainez and Godado at Betis, but I think Betis is not as high a club in terms of exposure, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But yeah, those three players, I think Lozano, Jimenez, and Herrera are the ones now championing Mexican players right now. For me, especially Jimenez, purely because he's doing well in England. Far exceeding my expectations. But anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with the move. Don't really have any complaints. I just don't want him being there for more than 2 years, if I'm being honest. I'm hoping that he improves and moves on. I'm hoping that, by the time, a couple of years down the line, maybe one of Aubameyang or Lacazette might be moved on. And I think the left wing at Arsenal is open anyway. Aubameyang does play there, but he's at his best in the middle, in my opinion. But I do like him playing with Lacazette, so I'm not really too bothered about it at the moment. But it is kind of going to be an issue sooner rather than later, I think, where we're going to have to get a really good left winger. As I said, Lozano, Pepe and Aubameyang, or Lacazette, as a front three could be very, very, very exciting. But we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that's my opinions on Lozano joining Napoli. Let me know what you think of the move. Are you happy with it? Do you think it's one of those sideways moves? Do you think he should have just stayed at PSV? Do you think he should have gone somewhere else? If you think he should have gone somewhere else, where do you think he should have gone to and why? Just let me know. I always reply to your comments. And also, sorry for being a bit absent lately. I just took a bit of a break from doing some videos. I just wanted to have a couple of weekends off, to be honest. But I'm kind of getting back into it now. I'm going to get some more videos out for you guys, for those of you that want to watch. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Adios.